All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem Rachach for the spirit to do this lesson. Double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone. Shalom to the men of the Lord, preaching and teaching on the highways and byways in sincerity and in truth. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom. I'm going to play some of this video. Um, Basically, man, this is more news and prophecies. Brother Iraq coming back at you. Wanted to give you guys an update just to show what we've been saying is true. Joe Biden's getting ready to ramp things up. You can see here, Biden ramps up troops into Syria on his first day as president. So, and this devil is about to put us in those times, man. The context of World War III is getting ready to be set. And we all know Esau Edom has set up the month of March as to be the month of war. Uh, which it kind of is traditionally because it's springtime. That's when you have military campaigns start, and that word March, it goes back to Mars, which is the planet of war, which is linked to the god of war, Ares, and the various. When you look at between of the Romans and the Greeks, when they would worship Mars, it's the same as worshiping Ares. Um, and Ares, as we all know, the god of war, the god of battle, and that's why the month of March is named after the planet Mars, because that's the month of war. You know, March is that same root etymologically as martial, where you have martial law, which is basically war. All right, and you see how it's all connected etymologically speaking. And Biden is saying now they're not going to get any stimulus money until March. Um, Hey, brothers, I think by this Passover, we're going to see a whole different planet, man. Lord willing, you know, I pray and I hope this thing turns up very even quicker than that. But let's watch some of this video.
Foreign leaders, I'm telling them America is going to be back. We're going to be back in the game. And then I wait for a collective eye roll. Johnny Grass says, what the F does this even mean, that America is back? Well, Johnny, it means, come on, you know the thing. Listen, Pat. If you don't know what it means, Johnny, this is what it means. America's back, baby. U.S. military convoy enters northeast Syria, January 21st.
Bam. Right there, his first day. Now, what was all the bullshit that he was speaking before? Bringing the nation, build back better, fight for the soul of America, and all of this bullshit, man. Trying to pacify you. This is Psalm 55 and uh, 20. It says, He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant. Now, I brought this out the other day when he's dealing with Gad, and that's true. But look at how he's dealing with Syria. Those Syrians are just trying to rebuild that country, man. They've been a war-torn country since 2010 at least, maybe even before that. So you're going on 12 years that country has been ripped apart by war, America, and all of these other nations. You got France and you got Israel over there, like Russia's in there to help back up Syria, but you have all of these different countries basically ripping your entire country apart, man. Those people want to get back to normalcy. Nobody wants to be at war that long, on your own homeland, and but what does America do? Right, they go right back in there and causes more war and division. Verse 21, Psalm 55 and 21, it says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. So the whole time they were planning to do this, Joe Biden has no intention of making peace. All right. There's what you call those war hawks in the Pentagon and throughout all of those all the defense departments in the intelligence community. Those guys are all war hawks. They have stock in these other companies like Lockheed Martin, General Dynamics, Raytheon. All of these giant defense contractors, they have stock in these companies. All right, and it's in their interest to be at war perpetually. And he's gonna bring that out about how they sell bombs. They ran out of bombs. You know that and who sells bombs? You know. Anyway, let's watch
Inauguration Day.
Inauguration
They're
Day.
back in. U.S. military convoy enters the Northeast. Empire's got to operate through COVID, baby. We can't get a vaccine distributed, but we could still set the world on fire. Isn't that awesome? America is back. Back. A large U.S. military convoy entered northeastern Syria on Thursday. Syrian state news reports citing sources on the ground. There you go. According to the report, the convoy included 40 trucks and armored vehicles and was backed from the air by helicopters. And it entered Syria from Iraq via the Al Walid crossing to bring arms and logistical equipment to the bases. At the same time, reports that some 200 U.S. troops arrived in the Hasaka province on helicopters. Iraq, Syria, it's like a reunion tour of countries.
Yeah, Iraq, Syria. Now that area is close to the valley of Jehoshaphat and by the river Euphrates. All right, when you look at Syria on the map. So where did he say they came in? Northeast Syria. All right. So right here you have the Euphrates going up here. It goes through, comes out of Basra, it goes up through Baghdad, and then it goes across, spreads here through Turkey, Salakia. I believe it goes left here. I believe this is Euphrates. It pivots left. I believe so. Yeah, Euphrates. It pivots left. All right. So it goes through Baghdad. So this is the Euphrates that the scripture spoke about, man. And you have them coming in from northeast Syria, all right, marching west. You know, we had big battles over here in Aleppo. And I believe the capital is somewhere left. It's where the area that they're trying to topple is in the northwest region, closer to the coastal part. All right. Let's see. We get that in Revelation real quick before I get Joel 3. It says Revelation 16 and 12, and the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. All right. Now, I'm not saying that the Euphrates is dried up right now, but you can see the direction that they're coming from. All right. And there's going to be more to follow. There's going to be a great battle in that area. And the Most High is setting this thing up, man. The temperature is turning up on this place.
We bombed. It's nice. According to the report, the troops are set to deploy on the nearby oil fields, with Kurdish-controlled eastern Syria rich in energy resources. We're sending the troops right to the oil fields. In late 2020, then U.S. President Donald Trump ordered U.S. troops withdrawn from that area to redeploy in Iraq. They're being deployed directly onto oil fields, an airy way of reminding people exactly why they're there. By the way, 1/3 of Biden's Pentagon transition team hails from organizations financed by the weapons industry. Wow. Yes, that is, of course, that is true.
1/3 of Biden's Pentagon transition team hails from organizations financed by the weapons industry. So this thing is it's a giant Ponzi scheme, man. These guys are just, they're basically warlords. There's nothing peaceable about these men. All right, let's get part of Joel 3 real quick. We'll read a good chunk of that, probably down to 14. This is Joel 3 and 1. It says, "For behold," Salakia says, "For behold, in those days and in that time when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. All right, I will also gather all nations, and we're in that time where we brought us into captivity again. All right, Judah and Jerusalem is symbolic of both kingdoms, northern and southern kingdom, going back into captivity, and we both are back in captivity. You know, with the vast majority of us being in the Western Hemisphere, um, with the majority of the Southern Kingdom up in the north. Well, you have a lot of Southern Kingdom jakes that went down in Brazil as well too. But for the most part, the natives uh, down there originally, that's you have Asher and you have Naphtali down there. All right, in large numbers. Um, but it says I will. In that same time, it's talking about verse 2. It says, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. All right. So this isn't talking about a captivity that we were in captivity like with the Babylonians. A lot of us was still in the land, or we were close to the land. At least the southern kingdom was. You know, this is talking about all of us being scattered. It says, and they have cast lots for my people and have given a boy for an harlot and sold a girl for wine that they might drink. And that's true in the transatlantic slave trade. What was one of the primary commodities that they traded us for? It was wine and rum. All right. They also traded guns. You know. So this is what's coming to this place. It says, yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coasts of Palestine? Will ye render me a recompense? Because you Hamites, you Arabs over there, so-called Arabs today, y'all had a hand in what you did. Okay, all the ones you sold us out in West Africa, the ones of you Arabs that helped facilitate the slave trade all around the world. It says, and if ye render me, and if ye recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head. Because ye have taken my silver and my gold and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant thing, because they completely spoiled Jerusalem, man. They took everything. And you know, Jake, man, we knew how to ball, man. Even outside of the holy of holies, where you had the temples and all that set up, man, that was decked out, man. It was gold. There was all types of precious woods and stones. All right, and you had probably had solid gold menorahs, pure gold, you know. And they came in and spoiled and took all of that, man. So that this thing, and we'll get more of it. Let's let this video finish. But you heathen got a lot to pay for, man. And Joe Biden is about to expedite your judgment.
That's because you know what they say. 1 out of 3, or I mean 2 out of 3. You know the thing. In 2017, Blinken, that's his new Secretary of State, praised the Trump administration for bombing Syrian airfields. So Joe Biden's new Secretary of State praised Donald Trump when he bombed Syrian airfields and called for a move toward a negotiation of transition of power, a goal which
You see how demonic and sinister and war hungry this man is. That's how we know this is Esau Edom, because this is his blessing. All right, the sword, and that he's just performing his function. You know, you can't really be mad. You know, that's how he's created.
he admitted eluded the Obama administration. Blinken served as Deputy National Security Advisor and Deputy Secretary of State in the Obama administration. His support for the invasion of Iraq and the assault on he supported the Iraq and Libya. That's awesome. He also supported more aggressive military measures against Syria. Does he regret any of this? No. The answer is no. By the way, the U.S. is running out of bombs to drop. That was 2015 under Barack Obama. They ran out of bombs.
Yeah, Barack Obama was dropping so many bombs. drone strikes and all. They ran out the greatest military in the world, in the history of the world, ran out of bombs. That's how wicked this man is. That's how many people they probably killed. Those numbers that they give you in the media, they say it's hundreds of thousands. That shit's probably in the millions, man. And the news media, they're in control of all of it. Most people don't even know these things because of how biased the media is. Think about all the other shit that they actually successfully hid that never came out, but it's going to be revealed.
So there you go. There's the beauty of the compassionate Joe Biden, the guy who's all love and wants to put his arms around everyone, as they say on CNN. On inauguration day, ramped up the war machine in Syria. Are you happy about that, Graham? You've been to war, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been to Iraq and Afghanistan as a comedian. I've seen war up close, and I'm here to tell you that I'm sure the people of Syria are just overjoyed that now the American troops are back with helicopters and missiles and rockets that say Black Lives Matter and have rainbow flags on them. I mean, it's going to be a great time for everybody.
Yeah, because that's the hypocrisy of this place, man. That this is what they do. They and this is why Jake is so messed up, because Jake has become simple. He'll see a logo on something and Black Lives Matter and think the devil cares about him. He doesn't. It's just a means for him to destroy you and to take the planet Earth. All right. He's unreasonable. All right. As the Terminator say, he can't be reasoned with. He can't be bargained with. You know. That's crazy.
This is the American empire, and this is the thing that, like, why liberals, and I used to call myself a liberal,
and all the 90% of you Jakes, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, y'all all actually are not only liberal, but y'all vote liberal. Shalaki, excuse me, brothers. Y'all vote for this shit, man. And they're the hawkish ones. They're the ones with the most bellicose rhetoric, actions.
And now I call myself an anti-war, pro-labor socialist, because liberals are dancing in the streets. They don't care.
They don't care
that this is happening, and because Trump pulled troops out and Biden is putting them back, they love. They hate Trump so much that they're going to be like, see, Biden's going to handle this better. Like, they're okay with war. They don't care, and it's mystifying to me. And there's no excuses now for these liberal idiots. There's no excuses. The Democrats have the White House, Congress, and the Senate. So I know they all want to go back to brunch, but and the other thing, we can't. We were supposed to get $2,000. That's been now it's $1,400. We're not going to get it on Biden's first day. We're going to get it March, maybe April now. But we definitely got money to roll troops into Syria to guard oil. That we got money for.
Yep, and let's see, Esau is getting pissed off, man, his own people, because he's cut down the money on the stimulus. He's not only cut it down from 2,000. Well, it would still technically be a total of 2,000, but he's now cutting back. You say you already got 600, it's gonna be 1,400. They're pissed about that. They want a $2,000 check to come through, and now he's saying it's gonna be delayed even to March. All right, which is that month of war, which could be a very heavy month. Let's read the rest of Joel 3 down to verse 14 real quick. This is Joel 3 and 6. It says, the children of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their border. All right. And that's what they did. We're scattered all over now. You're several thousands of miles away from Jerusalem now over here in America. And the majority of us are over here in the West, I believe. Now we're scattered all over. And Jake does have the propensity to procreate a lot. So there's probably a lot of the elect all over, but we know how many came over here, over here in the West. It says, verse 7, behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head. So the Most High is going to raise up the elect, man. And this doesn't include you 2/3. Y'all are going to die here. All right. Verse 8, I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabaeans, to a people far off, for the Lord Yahweh hath spoken it. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war and wake the mighty men, wake up the mighty men, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. And Joe Biden is getting this same vibe, Joel 3 and 9. He's putting the energy into the world, this scripture. All right. He this vibration of Joel 3 and 9, he's putting that vibration out there. All right. Because this whole thing was prophesied. Now, when it happens, will it happen in 3 months? I'm not saying that, but it very well could be. All right. And we are to watch and hope these things come to pass sooner than later, man. Because the longer this guy's in rulership, well, the scriptures say if he stayed in rulership, everything would die, man. There would be no flesh saved. You got basically GMO people if he successfully gets his 100 million person target. All right, you're gonna have 100 million genetically modified people walking around, man. We don't know what that's gonna do. It's a computer program. It could literally do anything. If he's figured out how to program it, I mean, it could literally turn, have a tree branch growing out your back. There's really no limit to it. And that's just one aspect that he's gotten his hold on. So Esau will completely wipe everything out if he continued in this way. It says, I'm going to read verse 9 again. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Because see, Syria seems like a weak nation when they're over there trying to fight off America and Israel and NATO. All right, and you got all those other countries over there, like Turkey, those Eastern European countries, like Ukraine. All of these countries are gonna get involved in this thing, man. That whole area of Eastern Europe. When you read Ezekiel 38, Iran has been under sanctions for I don't know how long. Their economy is getting decimated. They're gonna rise up. It says, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about thither, because thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord Yahweh. And this is the Most High gathering all of these heathen for judgment. He's basically going to take out their militaries in one swoop. So all of their mighty men are going to be in one spot, and they're all going to get judged. And all you're going to have left is meek and humble men men and women in your country. You're going to have young kids, farmers, women. That's who's going to be left of you heathen. Because all your mighty men are going to die right here in the valley of decision, as it says. Verse 13, put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. All right. The Most High likens you into a harvest. I mean, he's let your wickedness go on for this long. Just for this moment here. Just come, get you down, for the press is full, the fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. And America's going to get a special judgment. His end is not just going to be in the valley of Jehoshaphat. That's only going to be part of you Edomites die over there. The real judgment is going to be over here in Babylon the Great. All right. It says, multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord Yahweh is near in the valley of decision. All right. So this goes into the day of the Lord. And this is why this is so exciting, because day one, man, Biden is ramping this thing up, man. Day one. So call halal Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem Rachach for all of that, man. Hopefully our brothers were edified. Shalom. Wa Abba Babal.